Hello people and welcome to another episode of CarDekho.com. Today we're going to talk about people carriers or MPVs as they're better known as. Now whether you consider statistics or sales numbers, there's no denying the fact that India loves its SUVs and MUVs. And that's largely because they can carry a lot more people together and they're extremely practical to use and buy. The MPV segment of late has picked up a lot of traction and almost every manufacturer wants to make one. Now we already have the Toyota Innova, the Mahindra Xylo, the Chevrolet Enjoy, the Maruti Ertiga and more recently the Honda Mobilio. And now the latest one to join the fray is this, the Renault Lodgy. We put the latest entrants in the group in a head-to-head battle to see who comes out on top. If we consider only the rear section of the cars, the Honda Mobilio is the better looker here. The Mobilio managed to get away with conventional looks that MPVs have, whereas the Renault Lodgy struggles with its quirky design. The taillight cluster of the Lodgy has been nicely designed and looks good in isolation. However, the rear looks very bland and typically van-like in its entirety. On the front of the Mobilio, you get almond-shaped headlamps that remind of the Brio and the Amaze, which share the same family look. The sides of the Mobilio carries very distinguished creases that lend a unique character to the car, making it look like a part of the Honda family. There is a large glass area that makes the car airy and roomy. The blackened D-pillar gives the impression of a floating roof, and the rear end of the car looks stylish with large old-style taillights that provide a very sporty look. The Mobilio is without doubt one of the most urban and stylish looking MPVs in its category. The Renault Lodgy is quirky but nevertheless a smart looking car. On the front there are large swept back headlamps that adorn the face, and in the middle you find a double slatted grille with a chrome strip at the top which makes the car look premium. The bumper looks smooth and polished, and the arrangement of the air dam with the round fog lamps looks quite clean. On the sides you notice subtle creases and those chunky alloys that lend the car its unique character. But head to head, we found the Mobilio to be the more balanced looking MPV. Both the manufacturers have resorted to a sharing is saving theme for the interiors. As you can see, the Mobilio's interiors is based on the Amaze sedan, which in turn was based on the Brio hatchback. And I believe that's not the smartest thing Honda could have done. Now they've tried to make it a little different thanks to this fake wood finish, but in the end it ends up looking more tacky rather than classy. But other than that, Honda's done a good job with plenty of storage places, a lot of space and connectivity as well. Let's go check out the Lodgy now. Now, like in the Mobilio, the Lodgy borrows a lot from the Renault Duster. However, the layout is a tad bit different, and besides being extremely functional, it also feels better built. The quality of materials is a shade better than in the Honda, but it does have a lot more room and a lot more storage area. The dashboard is pretty simple, and like in the Amaze, features ordinary looking aircon dials at the center. But the Mobilio gets a larger LCD display for multimedia and GPS. The display also doubles up as the screen for reversing camera. Yes, the top spec Mobilio gets that too. Plastic quality isn't that great, and fit and finish is a bit of a mixed bag. There is space too. The seats are slimmer and can be slid and folded into various combinations to offer a lot of flexibility. For its compact dimensions, the car has a commendable legroom and headroom. All seats can be reclined as well, and 7 average-sized adults can sit in reasonable comfort. You also get features like central armrest for the second row, dual airbags, aircon controls for the middle passengers, cup holders for third row of seats, and some more. However, the third row of seats does not have AC vents like the Lodgy, which gets it for all 3 rows of seats. The Renault Lodgy has an extremely roomy cabin and in fact feels roomier than the Mobilio, especially in the third row. The car is available in 2 seating configurations, 7 and 8 seater. The second and third row offer ample headroom and legroom, slightly more than the Mobilio, which gives the Lodgy a slight edge when it comes to space. It gets height adjustable driver's seat, while the 7-seat offers captain seats in the second row along with armrests. However, the 7-seat configuration is available only in the RX Z model trim. The top variant of the car uses 2-tone fabric upholstery with leather inserts, which imparts an upmarket feeling. There is a 3-spoke steering wheel, which again is borrowed from the Duster, that has telephony controls, audio controls, speed limiter and cruise control. There are many additional features like sun visors, cup and bottle holders, plenty of storage. There is a touchscreen media nav system that takes care of entertainment, provides navigation information and provides visibility with the help of a rear view camera when the car is reversed. The boot space of the car is good at 207 litres but marginally smaller than the Mobilio, which takes in 223 litres with all seats in their place. All in all, the Lodgy does pip the Honda when it comes to overall space and cabin quality, but not by much. The Lodgy's diesel unit, just like in the Duster, comes in 2 states of tune, the 85 PS and the 110 PS. What we're driving here today is the 85 PS variant with the 5-speed manual gearbox. With 200 Nm of torque, it's slightly lazy coming off the line, but once you get up to speed, it canters quite well. Now, right after the 85 PS Renault Lodgy, the 100 PS Mobilio feels far more quicker off the mark. Now, the Mobilio also makes 200 Nm of torque, but because it's a lot lighter, it is quite quicker as well. What you also notice is how loud Honda's iD-Tech unit is. Now, this isn't a case of bad refinement. Honda uses an aluminium engine block as compared to iron blocks that is used by the others, and it simply fails to suppress the noise just as well. Unlike the 110 PS variant, the 85 PS DCI unit gets a fixed geometry turbo. As it suggests, the engine makes 85 PS at 3750 RPM and 200 Nm of torque at 1900 RPM. Now, this is a proven mill which has been doing duty in a multitude of cars in various tunes. The engine feels pretty refined and there is barely any diesel clatter audible inside the cabin. On the go, you get the typical turbo lag that this engine is known for, but then the turbo spools up quickly and ends up leaving you surprised. Drivability is a strong point about this engine as well, and the abundant torque makes overtaking a very easy affair. Braking though, we found to be a tad bit over-servoed. Just a slight dab and the Lodgy is already dropping its anchors hard. The Mobilio diesel in comparison is powered by a 1.5 litre diesel motor and pushes out an impressive 100 PS at 3600 RPM and a similar maximum torque of 200 Nm at 1750 RPM. As opposed to the Honda petrols we know, this 1.5 litre iD-Tech focuses entirely on low-end power delivery. Simply put, in-city drivability is outstanding. Turbo lag is nearly non-existent, with the diesel motor responding well from idle RPM itself. Surprisingly though, our test figures, as you can see, revealed that the Lodgy was quicker than the Mobilio to 100 km an hour and during the roll-on acceleration in third gear as well. However, the Mobilio fought back with quicker roll-on times in fourth gear and better braking as well. It will be interesting to see how the 110 PS Lodgy will compare once we get our hands on it. On the fuel efficiency front, the Lodgy dishes out 21.04 km per litre, while the Honda Mobilio delivers a higher claimed fuel efficiency of 24.5 km per litre. The engine in the Mobilio felt more responsive than the 85 PS Lodgy, but the Lodgy hits back with better refinement, with the Honda losing points for a comparatively noisier engine. As for grunt, you also have the option of the 110 PS engine with the Lodgy, another feather in the Lodgy's hat. On the move, the Mobilio is quite pliant over most surfaces, although the suspension is a bit on the stiffer side. Quick lane changes are not greeted by MPV style body roll, and what also helps in inspiring confidence is the well-weighted steering wheel. Ride quality is good too, and Honda has definitely improved its suspension setup as compared to before. However, it's difficult to beat Europeans when it comes to a ride and handling package, and the Lodgy is no different. Out on the highways, the ride quality was supple and butter smooth with no suspension creaks filtering into the cabin. Even rough patches were dismissed quite nicely. A big thumbs up to Renault here.
The Mobilio is a brilliant product from Honda, and it really moved the game further when it came to MPVs thanks to its brilliant styling, utility and space. Unfortunately for the Mobilio, the new Renault Lodgy does all that and more. It might not be as appealing to look at as the Honda, however everywhere else, it's the new benchmark to beat. That's it from me now. Hope you like the Comparo, and please don't forget to comment, like and subscribe to the CarDekho channel.